Hey everybody, welcome back to the GMG review. Today we're taking a look at an exciting first expansion for Warhammer the Horus Heresy. It's Warhammer the Horus Heresy LIBER Mechanicum. Kindly sent along as a complimentary advanced copy by Games Workshop for you guys to check out today. So, what do we got? The Force of the Omnissiah. Now before I crack on with this, for those of you who haven't played a lot of Horus Heresy, this is probably going to be the first really all Forge Worldy expansion for the game, where you're not going to be able to see a lot of plastic units right now. I would be very happy if plastic units come out in the future, but everything featured in this book at this point of it being previewed, my understanding is it's all going to be resin as a standalone army. So if you're looking to get into the Mechanicum, or if you have an existing Mechanicum army, you probably already appreciate this. You're dealing with Forge World miniatures, not plastics at this point. Creative people, you could obviously kit bash a lot of the 40k stuff into the Horus Heresy stuff, like Thalax battle robots. Could easily be converted out of the plastic Castellan robots from regular 40k. You've got some options for doing that stuff, but you are going to be taking a first step into resin miniatures if you're planning on starting this from scratch and you don't have any experience with it already. So there's my first proviso out of the way. Second thing, this is also going to give you rules for certain rules that are in the index books. So for instance, the Legion Praevian, it's a upgrade type for a consul. He is the master of the Cybernetica, the Legion Cybernetica, which were the attached Cybernetica units to all of the Space Marine Legions. In fact, a couple legions like the Thousand Sons have their own battle automata that fight with them, and you're gonna get the core rules for those automata, specifically the Vorax and the Castellax battle automata will be in here. So those of you waiting for those rules, they're gonna be put in this book. So you have a couple ways to play this, and really this is 3 army lists in one. This is the Mechanicum army list, not to be confused with the Adeptus Mechanicus. The Adeptus Mechanicus is the post-heresy, sort of like imperial controlled body of the tech god, whereas the Mechanicum was almost like its own fiefdom. The Fabricator General was like an emirate of the Imperium right there in the Sol system on Mars, and kind of an ally, but not necessarily a part of the Imperium yet. Of course, after the heresy, that all changes and they just become thralls to the Imperium. But they were almost there. They had their own governing body at that point, and they worshipped the Emperor as the Omnissiah. And so it's interesting because they were kind of almost first to the table with the whole idea of deifying the Emperor. So, stop talking and show us the rules. Well, I will do just that. So 124 pages, 23 unit types, as well as 6 Lords of War. And those Lords of War are going to be, well, fairly interesting, I think, for you guys, because they include some plastic kits that you could use as allies for your Space Marines, in addition to things like the resin kits for the Castellax and the Vorax battle automata. So jumping in, we get some background, of course, for the Tagmata of the Omnissiah and the Mechanicum army list. All right, so core and expanded. Once again, this is the core. All future publications will be considered expanded, but this is the middle stuff. So there may be some specialist units you're looking for right now that aren't in here. Remember, they are already adding PDFs of expanded units to the game. So don't immediately jump to, they got rid of my favorite Mechanicum thing, because that's not seeming to be the case. They're getting supplemental material out relatively quickly to add that stuff in. So building a Mechanicum army uses the standard point limits and chart and allegiance in the Mechanicum. You will still have to pick a loyalist or traitor allegiance for your Forge Worlds, as they sided with both sides under the Fabricator General and the sort of like free tech priests and land, Arcan land during the heresy. So your force organization chart is similar to the Space Marine one. You had 2 troops in HQ for the primary, a Lords of War as an optional detachment, and an ally detachment. If you were looking at dipping into Mechanicum too, like certain armies, like my Raven Guard, for instance, are actually battle brothers with the Mechanicum. They free a bunch of Forge Worlds when they're fighting their Shadow War against the forces of Horus after Istvan, and they get to like ally with them. So I'm actually kind of excited to dive into that. I'll probably build myself at the very least a Lord of War, because that'd be fun to do some Titan, a Night Titan maybe, like a Free Blade, and then of course the little allied detachment would be easy to convert out of the plastics as well. Allied stuff, this is all the same as in the Space Marine ones. And then Warlord traits, these are the core ones from the rulebook, so Stoic Defender, Bloody Handed, and Ever Vigilant. And then your other Mechanicum warlord traits. The first one's Soul of Iron. A warlord with this trait, any friendly units with at least one model within 6 that is pinned may still move and declare charges, but is limited to snap firing until they're no longer pinned. In addition, an army whose warlord has this trait may make an additional reaction in the movement phase. So you've got a cool kind of like, I can't actually be pinned because we're robots trait. The logic of victory. If at no point during the warlord controlling player's active turn, a warlord with this trait has neither made a shooting attack or been locked in combat, then they gain an additional reaction in each phase of the following turns as the reactive player. So basically, if you at no point did you make a shooting attack or be locked in combat, then you get to do all 3, it looks like. In addition, if the warlord has this trait, any unit he's joined gains +1 weapon skill, ballistic skill when making attacks as part of any reaction, and +3 initiative and +3 movement when making a move as part of any reaction. So you're going to get bonuses to everything, as long as you yourself aren't fighting, which I think is kind of cool. So if you have a in the rear with the gear style Mechanicum general, then and his unit will become better for reaction fire and stuff too, but you get to react quite a bit. And then the Science of Slaughter. On the second turn of each combat, a warlord with this trait is engaged in, and each turn, if it's locked in combat with the same combat after that, it gains a +1 weapon skill and strength to a maximum of 10. So basically he learns, it's learning! Once a given combat is ended, the warlord no longer locked in combat, then it returns to normal. In addition, they get an additional reaction during the assault phase. I love that. You just start hulking out and like adapting. You're a learning machine. And then you get a single advanced reaction, because there are no legions in this, you're just Mechanicum. Your reaction is Scornful Fire. This advanced reaction may be made once per battle during the shooting phase when an enemy unit declares a shooting attack, targeting a unit that includes a model with the independent character special rule until the reactive player's under the reactive player's control, which is part of the Mechanicum attachment. So basically, if you're shooting back with a unit that has one of the independent characters in it, the reacting player and any friendly Mechanicum unit eligible to make a reaction within 12 may make a shooting attack targeting the units that triggered the reaction and following all the usual rules. Any unit that makes a shooting attack as part of this reaction counts as having made a reaction in this phase. A unit that makes a shooting attack as part of Scornful Fire may not make any attacks indirectly, and if you can only use defensive weapons of your vehicle, and you have to use template weapons, have to use Wall of Death if they're within 8. So basically, you shoot back, and then everybody within 12 also shoots back. You get a like massive wall of killy death. All right, HQs. So the first one, we have the Archmagos Prime for 155 points. This guy's on foot. Comes with a power weapon, a Volkite Serpenta, same as the Marine one, and a Mechanicum Protectiva, and a Cortex Controller. So the Cortex Controller is the same as the Legion Praevian one. It allows you to join a unit of Cyberthergic units and have them ignore the protocols rule. So your Mechanicum Protectiva, however, we're just going to jump back to the War Gear section. I'm going to tab that with this delightful thing. Special rules, Mechanicum Protectiva is in the War Gear section under Mag Inverter. Oh, I was like there already. Mag Inverter, Energy Fields, Flare, Ion Shield, Ordinatus, Refractor, and Mechanicum Protectiva. A model with a refractor field gets a 5+, a Protectiva is a 4+ invulnerable save. Invulnerable saves by a refractor field do not stack. If a model has an invulnerable save, then the controller player must choose which one to use. So 4+ invul. And then you've got Battlesmith 4+, Feudal Hierarchy, which is your special rule, Firing Protocols, Independent Character, Master Cyberthergist, the Orders of High Techno Arcana, it's like a skill set, Relentless and Stubborn. So for your Feudal Hierarchy, that'll be under Special Rules. Feudal Hierarchy, Dozer Blade, I think it's at the beginning here, Mechanicum, Special Rules, A, B, C, D, E, F. A single detachment may not include both an Archmagos Prime and one on a band. So you get one and only one. It's basically your Master Legion special rule. And then Master Cyberthergist, which is macro extinction targeting protocols. That's not what I want. I want Master Cyberthergist. Is that an armory thing? No, that's a War Gear thing. MMM. Nope. Must be in the Cyberthergist rules. Master Cyberthergist. Macro extinction protocols, heavy structure. Oh, here we go. The orders of high techno arcana. So when you are a master Arcuth or whatever, Cyberthergist, in addition, for each high techno arcana upgrade grants a model a type of additional special rules, additional war gear. So it's kind of like being a console. If you're a master Cyberthergist, you get to pick one of these things. So all Archmage's primes and on abeyance have the orders of high techno arcana special rule. This requires them to select a single high techno arcana upgrade during army selection. However, no Archmage's prime may take more than one of each upgrade. So you can be an Archimandrite with bonds of vassalage, a model with this special rule. It's kind of like your rights of war. Must be the army's warlord. In addition, a Mechanicum army that includes a model with this special rule may include a Mechanicum allied detachment. An Archmage's prime or Archmage's prime in a band included in this cannot select the Achimandrite order of the high techno arcana. So you become a master Theurgica. A model with this special rule may select an additional Cyberthergic arcana. And a master Technomancer models with the Battlesmith X rule. This attachment that includes a model with a special rule may add the following effect that they may apply to units with the vehicle dread or automatic type targeted by the Battlesmith X rule. Until the end of the shooting phase, the target may make shooting attacks using the ballistic skill of the model that successfully used it, so you can override them to use your ballistic skill. And until the shooting phase, or end of the shooting phase, the target gains the power of the Machine Spirit special rule. This may only be applied to units with the vehicle unit type. So basically you can like override and shoot with your ballistic skill of 5 if you want, which can be handy for some of the lower ballistic skill things. If you're from Cybernetica, then Cohort Cybernetica, all Calyx Battle Automatica in the detachment gain a line if you want to be from the Cybernetica one, which is very cool. So your Calyx get the line rule. Networked Sensorium protocols. When making a shooting attack, models of the Automata unit type and detachment that includes a model with this special rule may reduce the benefits of the cover save by -2. So a 4+ becomes a 6 and a 5+ is ignored if the model making the shooting attack is within 12 of 2 or more friendly models with Cortex controllers. So as long as you get 2 people directing them, they get -2 to cover saves. And then Preservation Protocols. A model of the special rule gains the Patris Cybernetica special rule. In addition, when joined by a unit with the Automata unit type, any wounds will be allocated to this character caused by precision strikes or sniper rifle rounds can be allocated to an Automata unit type first. They get in the way. Lacre Marta. Oh my god, there's so many. Incorruptible Flesh. Any hits allocated to a model with this special rule or any model with the infantry special rule that they join with the Rending, Poison, or Fleshbane special rule only get to trigger on a 6 instead of the usual effect. The Opus Viscera. If a model with the Battlesmith X special rule and attachment that includes a model with this special rule is in base contact with at least one model unit comprised of only models of the infantry type during the shooting phase, they can attempt to enhance that unit instead of making a shooting attack. Roll a d6. If the result's equal or lower than your Battlesmith value, equal or more than the Battlesmith value, then one of the following effects can be applied. You can either restore a lost wound, or the unit can immediately move a number of inches equal to twice the initial characteristic of the majority of the models in the unit. So you get to push people around. And then the Sanguine Hook. A model of the special rule gains the Ephemera Lycra Marta Cyberthergic Arcana, but may not select any other Cyberthergic Arcana from the special, those available with these Cyberthergist rules, because those are additional things you can take too. I skipped ahead to the Orders of the High Techno Arcana. The Master Cyberthergist is the other things you can buy. So Macro Tech. Tech Priest Auxilia units in the detachment that includes a model with the special rule may be taken as troop choices. However, any Tech Priest Auxilia that are taking this must choose the Engine Seer Techno Arcana. Moderati Munitoria during the battle setup before objective markers are placed or deployment's been determined. A player that controls a model with the special rule may choose to alter the terrain setup in the battlefield. The player that controls a model with the special rule may choose to move up to 3 pieces of terrain up to 6 inches, as long as their final position is not more than 2 inches from any other piece of terrain. 2 or more players control models with the special rule, they roll off to do so. And then Rector Edifici, models of the Battlesmith X rule in this attachment that include a model with the special rule may repair buildings in addition to the vehicle dreadnought or automatic unit types. In addition, they add the following effects to the Battlesmith rule. Until the start of the controlling player's turn, any hits allocated to the chosen model with the Breaching, Exoshock, or Rending X special rule only trigger on a 6. Malagra is Ictus Insidiae. Any model with the character unit subtype and attachment that includes a model with this special rule may upgrade a Machinator array or servo arm to a built-in prehensile data spike. So they get the data spike on top of those things, the Machinator array and the servo arm, for 10 points. And then the Interfector Auxilia. The Tech Priest Auxilia unit in a detachment that includes a model with the special rule may choose the Interfector Techno Arcana instead of Engine Seer, Lacrimatus, or Reductor options. And the Interfector one is Tech Priests and Magos Auxilia of the unit are equipped with a prehensile data spike. In addition, models gain the Scout special rule, so they get a free move at the start of the game. Yeah, and the Cyberthergy is all of these different upgrades, basically. You got his weapons, rights, arcanas. And there's a ton of them. They're kind of like psychic powers, but they're rights. They're like prayers. And this one replaces the one for Interfector. Sacred Mission, a single Arcuator Magisterium unit in a detachment that includes a model with the special rule may be taken as an HQ choice. Unit taken in this way loses the Hunter Killer special rule and instead gains the Scout and Cohort of Executioner special rule. Note this is still a 0 to 1 choice, so it's taken as an HQ. Another Arcuator Magisterium unit cannot be taken as an elite choice and vice versa. Court of Executioners, a unit with the special rule may include up to 2 additional Arcuator Magisteriums for 110 points each. So you get a court of them. And then when deployed onto the battlefield, all models of special rule must be deployed within unit coherency, but afterwards are independent units. And then Syndex Malagris. Model of special rule gains the preferred enemy characters, precision strikes 5+, and the Monster Hunter special rule. In addition, a model of the special rule may increase their weapon skill characteristics to 5 and their attacks to 3. So you get jacked up and get preferred enemy characters. I love that. You're kind of like a robot assassin. And then Myrmidax, Avatar of Destruction, a single Thanatar siege automatic maniple unit consisting of a single model can take it as a non-compulsory HQ choice. This is kind of like the Mortificator upgrade for consoles in the Space Marine Army. This model must be replaced with a Thanatar Calyx and may not take the Paragon of Metal upgrade. While only within 6 inches of a Thanatar Calyx taken as an HQ choice in this way, friendly Myrmidon Secular hosts and Myrmidon Destructor hosts gain the line unit subtype and add +1 to the wound score to see if they win a combat in the assault phase. And then a Myrmidon host, Myrmidon Secular host in a detachment that includes a model with the special rule may be taken as troop choices. And Myrmidon Destructor host can be taken as elite choices. And then Vessel of Destruction, a model with the special rule, gains Hatred Everything and Bulky 3. In addition, they increase their wound characteristic to 5. So they get jacked up and huge. Reductor gets Demolisher. Models of the Battlesmith X rule, an attachment that includes a model with the special rule, may target buildings with the Battlesmith X rule to restore lost wounds, and they get the following effects. Cause a target building model with the vehicle unit type to lose a single hull point, inflict a single wound with no saves of any kind on a Dreadnought or Automata unit type. So you basically become like a siege guy and break things down. Inflict an automatic weapon destroyed result on a building or model with the vehicle unit subtype, but you don't lose any hull points. And inflict an automatic immobilized result, but you don't lose any hull points. So basically you can use your Battlesmith rule to like break enemy stuff. And then Harbinger of Devastation. During the battle's setup, before objective markers have been placed or deployed, deployment has been determined, the player controls a model with the special rule may nominate up to 3 areas of terrain, buildings, or fortifications. If the chosen items is an area of terrain that provides a cover save, then it's removed, and it counts as dangerous and difficult terrain. If the item chosen is a building or fortification, then all rolls in the building damage table made for the building or fortification get a +1. If 2 or more players control models with this special rule, they roll off. They then take turns nominating and go back and forth. Secrets of Annihilation. A model with this special rule gains the Artificia Reductor Cyberthergic Arcana, but may not select any other ones from those available with the Cyberthergist special rule. So with Master Cyberthergist, you're going to get to access Cyberthergy. On the battlefields of the Horus Heresy, the Mechanicum is feared not only for the power of the war engines, but the terrifying control they have over all forms of technology. In games of Horus Heresy Age of Darkness, certain models may use Cyberthergy to attack the enemy and confound their plans. In all cases, to use a Cyberthergic attack weapon or right, a model must possess the Cyberthergist unit subtype. So you have that as your subtype there. Cyberthergist in character. So in all cases, so Cyberthergist, much like characters, Cyberthergist is a unit subtype and can be applied to a model in any other unit type. This is used to indicate that they can use Cyberthergic rights and weapons. Often a rule will say Cyberthergist, Mechanicum Archmagus Prime. Though the rules for Cyberthergy are referenced with Cyberthergy checks, it's just a leadership check. And that's it. So your weapons you can take, rights, arcanas, and then feedback. Common to all forms of Cyberthergic ritual is the possibility of temperamental feedback. Most rights and attacks dictate after what condition a Cyberthergic must make it. And they suffer the feedback, but in most cases this will be the result of a failed leadership check when using the right of the attack. They make a single wound in which only invulnerable saves can be taken, and no damage mitigation rolls can negate them. This wound must be allocated to the model with that unit type. If the Cyberthergic model is a vehicle or automata, it takes D3 hull points or wounds, in which only invulnerable saves can be taken. So, for instance, you can take the Arcana of the Artificia Machina, the Animatus Integro, it's a right. It's basically a psychic power, so it's range 12, strength 1, AP 1, assault D6, haywire, data Djinn, Cyberthergic Focus. So the focus is before making any hit rolls, you make a leadership check. If it's passed, use the weapon profile. If it's failed, you take feedback and take a wound. And then the special rules for Data Djinn and Cyberthergic thing. Data Djinn is when allocating a model, allocated to a model that does not have the Automata, vehicle, or dreadnought unit type, or is not a building or fortification, any hits from a weapon with a special will automatically fail to wound. So basically, you can only hurt those things, regardless of toughness. And then the other one is Cyberthergic Focus, not Cyberthergic Focus, the, oh no, it was Haywire. The Artificia Cybernetica, it's a right. When making so it basically, instead of making a shooting attack, if you're within 12 of an enemy model, you can, that contains at least one model with the Automata unit type. Make a check and then apply one of the pulling effects. So when making a charge roll for the unit in the same turn as the right is used, roll additional dice and discard the lowest. So this is a friendly boost. The unit, not the individual model, ignores the first wound inflicted on it by a shooting attack that target until the beginning of the control player's next turn. Just discard that wound. The unit adds +1 to its ballistic skill for the remainder of the shooting phase in which it was used. And until the start of the controlling player's next turn as an active player, the unit may ignore the restriction when making reactions imposed by the Automatica unit type, so you can just shoot. You can make a check before you use the power. If it's successful, then 2 different options can be used instead of 1. So you can basically boost it up. The Mordio Cogita, it's a Cyberthergic weapon, 12-inch range, strength 10, AP 1, assault 1, data Djinn, instant death, and Cyberthergic Focus. You have to pass to use it before you make any hit rolls, but it's 10 AP 1, range 12. So it's basically like a hacker program to blow things up. And then the Ephemera Incursus, that's a weapon, 24-inch range, strength 3, assault 6, data Djinn, blind, Vox Silence, and Cyberthergic Focus. So blind and Vox Silence obviously are both handy. Blind is blind's in the core rulebook, that's right. And then the other one is, it reduces your, blind is the one in which reduces your weapon skill and initiative, I think. And then Vox Silence is the one I need to look up. Vox Silence. Any models with the infantry or cavalry unit type and a unit that suffers 1 or more hits from a weapon with this rule reduces their leadership by -2 until the start of their controlling player's next turn. It's not cumulative, and any given unit can only be affected by it once. That's so cool. In addition, if you have affected by this, then Nuncio Vox, Command Vox, or other similar war gear items are turned off. I like that one. It's thematic. And then the Ephemera Lacrimarta, it's a right. Instead of making a shooting attack, you can pass a test. Select a single friendly unit within 12 entirely composed of models with infantry type. And it's Mechanicum. The chosen unit may immediately move a number of inches up to twice its unmodified initiative directly towards the nearest enemy units. You just like puppet master them. If the chosen unit has a mixed initiative, then use the highest unmodified one. The controlling player may choose to make a Cyberthergic check. And if the check is successful, they gain Hammer of Wrath 1, Furious Charge 1 until the end of the subsequent assault phase. If it's failed, then you suffer feedback. So basically you jack up a unit, move it during the shooting phase, and I think it can go into combat. What did it say? Directly towards the nearest enemy unit. If the chosen unit, oh no, you would, it's during the shooting phase, so you would then make an assault move afterwards. That's right, during the assault phase. The Ephemera Excrusius, it's a weapon, strength dash, melee, flashbane, rad phase, concussive 3, and Cyberthergic Focus. So reduce your toughness with rad phase, flashbane means it wins on 2+, and it's melee. So a cool, like, melt you gun. It's the melt stick from Thor Ragnarok. Cyberthergic Arcana Artificia Reductor. It's a right. Instead of making a shooting attack, a Cyberthergist with this Cyberthergic right may select a single building, fortification, or enemy unit with a transport unit type that has an enemy unit embarked with it within 12 of the Cyberthergic and make a test. If it's successfully done, then the enemy unit embarked on it must make an emergency disembarkation immediately and must make a pinning check. And if it's failed, you suffer rules. You suffer the feedback. This Cyberthergic right may not target an enemy model with the Flyer, Super Heavy Knight, or Titan unit. And then the Manos Ruinous, the Ruinous Hand, strength 10 AP 1, melee, Data Djinn, Armor Bane, Exo Shock, 3+, unwieldy, cumbersome, and Cyberthergic Focus. You touch him with the hacker hand. You basically like try and melt him with your hacker hand. But strength and AP1 and armor band, which is rad. All right, so he has access to all these things potentially. You can buy him options like scanners, melted bombs, and rad grenades and cyber familiars, which increases his his invulnerable save. The Architect Pistol, Lucifex, a Maxima Bolter, a Photon Gauntlet. So we're getting into some of the war gear now that's the specific war gear. Architect Pistol is the same. You're looking at, where is it? Lucifex. I think that's a ray gun. The Lucifex is a laser weapon? Would make sense. No, it's not though. It's a plasma weapon? Nope. It's a rad weapon. There it is. Yep. Strength 8, so strength 2, range 8, AP 5, pistol 1, flash band, and rad phase. So it's a melty radiation gun. Power fist, plasma pistol, corpusant stave, chain fist, paragon blade. I like thinking of a chain fist, just randomly. Let's look at melee weapons. Corpusant stave, +1 AP 4, melee 2-handed, and haywire. That's handy. And then we know what everything except for the Photon Gauntlet does. Where's a Photon Gauntlet? Photon Gauntlet must be a gun. Photon Gauntlet, Volkite, Shock Lance, Flamer, Graviton Gun, Photon Gauntlet, there's 12, Strength 5, AP 2, Assault 2, Blind, and gets hot. Cool. So he's pretty killy. Weapon skill 4, skill skill 5, strength of his 5, 3 wounds, initiative 4, 2 attacks, so not great melee, leadership 10 and a 2+ save, but a 4+ invul, and if you have cyber familiar him, I believe it goes to a 3+. Let me double check the cyber familiar. They were very popular in the last edition. Cyber familiar. It's not an energy field, it's a thing. +1 to a maximum of 3+ invulnerable saves. Yep, same thing. In addition, they allow them to reroll failed characteristic tests other than leadership tests, psych tests, or failed dangerous terrain tests. And then you can basically, the Archmagus Prime may select one of the following cybernetic arcana, getting all the rights and weapons that are part of that arcana. So you get everything from either Cybernetica, Machina, or Incursus. And then the orders of High Titan Arcana, you must take one of the following orders, and no model may take more than one upgrade. If your army includes more than one Archmagus Prime, they must all be different. And we went through all 6 of them already. And then the Archmagus Prime on Aberrant, the options are basically the same. He's got a toughness of 6 though, and 5 wounds because he's floating around in his like floaty thing. So the only difference is he's monstrous and he has anti-grav and a higher stat line defensively. And then we're into the Magus Dominus. He's the slightly not as big one. He has just Cyberthergic Adept. So you may select one of the following Cyberthergic Arcana, getting all the rights and weapons. He has a power weapon, las pistol, a Protectiva, and a Cortex controller. And Battlesmith 5+ instead of 4+. He's a Cyberthergic Adept, Feel No Pain 5, Firing Protocols 2, which is nice, give him 2 guns. Patris Cybernetica, Relentless and Stubborn. Now the Patris Cybernetica I think is part of leading Automata. An independent character with this special rule may join a unit composed of models with the Automata unit type or monstrous unit subtype. However, they cannot join a unit that contains models of any other unit type if the model with this type also has the Automata or Dreadnought unit type or the monstrous unit subtype. So basically, he's a leader of Cybernetica. His job is to follow around the robots and make sure they fight good. I mean, you can give him some cool guns. You can give him a Rotor Cannon and a Photon Thruster, a Phased Plasma Fusel for 20 points. And because he's got Firing Protocols, you can shoot all of it. And then you can put him on a band as well for 105 points. He's basically your Centurion level character. And we got one special character, Caleb Decima Invictus, Lord of Ruin, Vengeful Archmagus of the Order Reductor. He's the pirate Mechanicum guy. He basically, after Isfahan, cuts his own way out and is like a rogue Mechanicum agent who worked for the Order Reductor. So he is a loyalist technically, and he hates traitors, but he doesn't actually fight as part of the Imperium. He's movement 6, weapon skill with skill 4, strength toughness 5, 3 wounds, initiative 4, 2 attacks, leadership 10, a 3+ save. Mastercrafted Power Axe, Bolt Pistol, Protectiva, a Machinator Array, and Melta Bombs. And he's battle hardened 1, so he's actually toughness 6 for instant death. He has Battlesmith 4+, Fearless, Feudal Hierarchy, Hatred, Traitors, ignores cover, independent character, loyalist, by default, but not actually part of their military really anymore. Master Cyberthergic of the Artificial Reductor, and then he has Reductor as his Techno Arcana. Precision Strike 5+, Relentless, Sunder, Walker and Ruin, and Wrecker. Caleb, Decima, and Invictus may be joined by one of the following at their normal point cost, either Tech Priest Auxilia or a Cylax Guardian Automata mana pull for page 36. Master Cyberthergic, he's got all the rights from that, and Walker and Ruin, he and any friendly unit that he's joined with at least one model within 6 of him, sorry, just within 6 of them, have moved through cover, because he's basically survived this one and can run through it. All right, the big robots. So first off, Tech Priest Auxilia, these are your littlest Tech Priests. You can be a Tech Priest, a Magos Auxilia, or a Servo Automata. These are the 3 different levels here. The Magos Auxilia is infantry, character, Cyberthergic, and line. Tech Priest is infantry, character, line. And the Servo Automata are Automata. They have Guardian. Battlesmith 5+ and 6+. Stubborn for the Magos Auxilia and Tech Priest only, so leadership 8 and 7. And then Techno Arcana for the 2 priests. It's 1 Tech Priest and 4 Servitor Automata. You can upgrade up to 2 additional Tech Priests and 6 additional Servo Automata. So it comes with the Tech Priest, and then you could buy it the Magos Auxilia, a single one for 25 points. And basically you're building like a unit of Tech Priests. Any Tech Priest or Magos Auxilia can take an Augury Scanner, Nuncio Vox, Volkite Charger, Cortex Controller, Graviton Gun. Any of them can take a Cyber Familiar. And then any Servitor Automata can take one of the following: a Laslock, Flamer, Maxima Bolter, Servo Arm, Rotor Cannon, Heavy Bolter, and Multi-Melta. I mean, all Servo, like, all Maxima Bolters or all Rotor Cannons is actually kind of tempting. They're relatively cheap in their line, even though they're elite. And then you get Techno Arcana, you get Engine Seer, you get Lacrimalis and Reductor to get a Servo Arm. So basically those different Techno Arcana or different groups can take different upgrades. The Arcuator Magisterium, Assassin of the Prefecture Magisterium, the Paternus Malagra. This is your assassin. It's basically a Tech Heresy-like judge. So they are weapon skill 5, movement 7, strength numbers 5, 2 wounds, initiative 4, 2 attacks, leadership 10, and 3+ save. They're kind of like consoles. They have a Corpuston save, which we already looked at, Archaeotech Pistol, a Mechanicum Protectiva, Cortex Controller, Frag Grenades, Crack Grenades. They've got Battlesmith 5+, Feel No Pain 5+, Firing Protocols 2, Hunter Killer. An Archaeotor Magisterium may be joined by one of the following, either Arl Attacks or Vorax Battle Automata. And then this unit may freely be upgraded, though they may not take the Paragon of Metal upgrade. The unit forms a single unit with these guys. And they become an elite choice. So you can give him a Phased Plasma Fusel or a Photon Thruster, a Paragon Blade, a Servo Arm, and a Machinator Array. So he's a cool infantry character that can be given a bodyguard, a Hunter-Killer bodyguard. And because he has Precision Strikes and independent character, and he's a Loyalist, which is interesting too, no traitors can take him. He's good for hunting down all of the big baddie characters on the other side. With his Precision Strike 5+, which he can do with, you know, I don't know, a Phased Plasma Fusel or a Photon Thruster. Both of those guns are pretty legit. Where are you at? Phased Plasma Fusel. Say that 5 times fast. Where is it? Photon Thruster is 24-inch range, strength 6, AP2, assault 2, blind, lance, gets hot. That's fairly legit. And then the other one, the Phased Plasma Fusel, 24-inch range, strength 6, AP3, heavy 3, breaching 4+, gets hot, so it becomes AP2 when it rolls a 4+ to wound. So you've got 5 shots at 24-inch range, and he has, well, you can only take one of those though. So you'd be shooting that and your Archaeotech Pistol basically with firing protocols. That's still pretty cool. And then Domitar Battle Automatica, these big guys. I love these models, they're so cool. They're kind of like your, what are they called? Contemptor Dreads. They are movement 8, weapon skill 4, plus skill 3, strength toughness 7, 5 wounds, initiative 3, 3 attacks, leadership 7, and a 3+ save. They're Automata with Hammer of Wrath 1 and Relentless. They get 2 Graviton Hammers, and then 1 Missile Launcher with Frag, Crack, and Flak and Ignis, Automatic Deflector, and Searchlights. They have a 3+ save and a 5+ invulnerable from the Automatic Deflector. It also reduces instant death. But you can have a unit up to 5 of them, and they're only 130 points, so you take extra ones. The hammers are pretty cool, I won't lie. Where are they? Into the melee stuff. They are Paragon, Power Blade, what are they called again? It's a graviton hammer. That's why it's not a melee weapon. It's a graviton weapon. Ash. Graviton cutter. Graviton hammer. There it is. Template: strength 6, heavy 1, concussive 1, graviton pulse, grav wave, and haywire. So 2 of those guys, 2 of those templates coming down, and a missile launcher, and you can buy them all Paragon of Metal for 35 points. And Paragon of Metal gives you only 1 model in an army can be upgraded to have this. Models with this must have the Automata Cyberthergic unit type. And it confers It Will Not Die 4+, Precision Strikes 4+, Precision Shots 4+, Rampage 2. Oh, strikes and shots are different, that's right. That means that those Tech Priests wouldn't be able to aim their guns. I'm forgetting that there's 2 different classes of that, and then Rampage 2, which is an extra attack, 2 attacks on the charge. A model upgrade with this Paragon also has their wounds and weapon skill increased by 1. So one of these could be weapon skill 5 with 6 wounds, and It Will Not Die 4+. And the Myrmidon Secular Host. These guys are cool, bigly fighters. They have a Myrmidon Axe, 2 Maxima Bolters, a Refractor Field. Their weapon skill 4, but skill 5, strength toughness 5 with 4 wounds each. Initiative 2, 3 attacks. There's a Lord, who's basically the same with extra attack, and leadership 9. And then they're infantry heavy, bulky 3, firing protocols 2, hatred everything, relentless and stubborn, which is kind of rad. And then they can have a Triaris armored conveyor, which is the big space train, as a thing if they have no more than 6 models. They come with 3 base for 150 points. And they're 45 points each. They can also have 1 or both Maxima Bolters, exchanged for Volkite Chargers, Graviton Guns, Irrad Cleansers, and Phased Plasma Fusils. So you can upgun them quite a bit. But that Myrmidon Axe is no joke. Myrmidon Axe, it's +2 strength, AP 2, melee sunder, 2-handed unwieldy. So melee sunder, so strength 7 sunder in melee, and it's AP 2. That is a vehicle exploder. All right, troops. All right, so we're into stuff that you would want to look at if you're going to use as an allied detachment in your Space Marine army, in your Legion army. Secularist Tech Thralls. These are just the human Tech Thralls. They're not quite servitors. They did something bad, and they're heavy though, which means they can reroll their 6+ save against boss weapons, and they're line. They're 45 points for 10 of them. Think of these as like, these are like your space zombies. They're basically, they're prisoners with jobs. So the Right of Pure Thought is their special rule. They're stubborn, feel no pay of 5+, and they hate everything. The Right of Pure Thought means basically their brains have been erased, which I find hilarious that that's what that's called. It's a very nice way of saying these guys had their memories deleted. The Right of Pure Thought is, where is it? It should be in here. Reactor Meltdown, the Right of Pure Thought. They may not make reactions or sweeping advances, because they're zombies! No big deal. All right, Phthalox Cohorts. Now, you can't take these, unfortunately, as your maniple, but I love the miniatures for these. They're actually dudes. They're brains in a jar with robot bodies. They get a close combat weapon, lightning gun, Lorica Phthalax, Incunabilum jetpack. They have a jetpack. And then frag grenades. Incunabulin. I learned a new word today. They're infantry line, bulky 2. They have Jin Sight, ignores the dark basically. Feel no pain, 6+, relentless and stubborn. No joke, toughness 5 with 3 wounds each and a 4+ save. No more than 6 can go into the big space train as a transport. And then you can take up to 6 more for 37 points each. They are 125 points for 3. It's a lot. And they can take melta bombs at 5 points per model, and then you can take a chain bayonet, which is rad because the models come with them, which means you are strength 5 shred in melee with these guys. They're 2 attacks. They get multi-lasers, rad cleansers. 1 guy out of 3 can have one of these. A rad cleanser, a phased plasma fusel, multi-melter, or a photon thruster. Very solid like troop choice that you can just screen with your Tech Thralls. The Skylax Guardian Automata Maniple. Jesus, these names. Movement 6, weapon skill 3, blitz skill 4, strength 4, toughness 5, 2 wounds, initiative 3, and 3 attacks with a leadership of 4, or 6, sorry, and a save of 4. You get 4 of them weirdly in a unit for 120 points, and they're Guardian heavy in line. Move through cover, night vision, relentless, and support unit. Oh, night vision must be different than from Jin Sight. Maybe Jin Sight's something to do with shooting vehicles. I thought it was just a fancy name for what they do. Ginsight. When making a shooting attack, reduces cover by -2. That's right. And additionally, infiltrators can't be set up within 24 inches of people with a special rule, regardless of line of sight. They can see through walls, is what it is. It's the eraser gun. You can take 12 more for a total of 60 in the unit for 25 points each. It's a weirdly tough unit. And they can take a, they can exchange their Kraken Bolter, which has the special rounds, for a Flamer Rotor Cannon, a Maxima Bolter, or a Volkite Charger. And then 1 in every 4 can have a Graviton Gun, Plasma Gun, Rad Cleanser, or Melt-A-Gun. And then the big boys, the Castellax. No, it's just 1 per model, and this is the one you'd probably, like, they look different. They're more old schooly and like kind of rivety in the old days, but you could definitely convert the Castellan robots from the Mechanicus army into these if you wanted to get creative and take these. They're a troop choice. 1 model is 95 points. They don't have a line though, they're just automata. They are movement 7, weapon skill 3, but skill 4, strength 7, toughness 6, 4 wounds, initiative 3, 2 attacks, leadership 7, and a 3+ save. 2 shock chargers with built-in bolters, a Mauler bolt cannon, and an automatic deflector. You get an extra attack if you have 2 shock chargers. And then you can take up to 4 more for 85 points each, a searchlight. Anyone can exchange his Mauler bolter for a multi-melter or Darkfire cannon. The Darkfire cannon is actually pretty cool. The Mauler bolter is also pretty cool. A Mauler bolter is strength 6, AP 4, heavy 4 pinning. And the maximum bolter is assault 3, but only 12-inch range. So taking the Darkfire cannon is, I think it's a laser weapon actually, because it's Darkfire. Yep, 36-inch range, strength 7, AP 2, heavy 2, blind lance, and gets hot. It's a laser gun. So these will be popular to convert, I think. You'll see a lot of that. They did that in the last edition of Heresy when these guys came out. But obviously the resin models exist and are very cool as well. And then the Triaros Armored Conveyor. This is the big space train. It's very cool looking. It kind of has like a Cylon-y look to it, like a By Your Command Cylon helmet. And then it's 14, 12, 12, 5 hull points, and carries 22 guys. Has a shock ram, 2 centerline mounted Volkite calivers, pintle mounted twin-linked Mauler bolt cannon, which is this thing, I think, up front, and then a flare shield and searchlights. It's minus strength at the front. Has 1 access point on each side, which is the big door here, and then up to 2 front-mounted hunter killer missiles for 5 points each. Fast attack, the floaty bugs. All right, so first it's Arlatax Battle Automata Maniples for 150 points. You get 1. This is the fast big boy. He's got a jump pack, a Uton jump booster. It's basically built onto his back here. You can have up to 3 of them in a squad. They're 135 points for the extra ones. Their weapon skill 4, ballistic skill 3, strength 7, toughness 6, 4 wounds, initiative 4, 3 attacks, leadership 7, and a 3+ save. You can have light autocannon exchanged for an arc scourge. They have a plasma cannon, automatic deflector, 2 built-in blade arrays with built-in light autocannons, and an Utan jump booster. So you can take an arc scourge instead. And then 1 model can be a paragon of metal and get all those bonuses I talked about earlier. The jump booster, I think, just changes your speed to 14. You basically get to make a jump pack move. I wanted to look up the, what's it called though? Light autocannon and the, where's the other one? The arc scourge. The light autocannon says, strength 6, AP 4, assault 2, 36-inch range. He has 2 of them. So that's 4 shots per guy at strength 6, AP 4. Not bad. And then the arc, I'm assuming you're a laser thing, or maybe a flash thing. Arc thing? Question mark? Sonic Disruptor. Arc Lance, Corpus Save. No, those are all melee weapons. It's a Arc Scourge. There it is. +2 strength, AP 3, melee, rampage D3, and disruption 5+. Nice. Makes them good against vehicles. The Ursarax Cohort is 3 models for 145, a bit lighter. Weapon skill 4, ballistic skill 3, strength up to 4 and 5, and 3 wounds each. Initiative 2, 2 attacks, leadership 7, and a 4+ save. 2 lightning claws, no big deal. Volkite Incinerator, Lorthax Phthalax, Utan jump booster, and frag grenades. It's the lightning claw version of these guys. 6 more for 45 points each. And then for every 3 models in the unit, you can have 2 power fists instead of 2 lightning claws for an extra attack. The Vorax Battle Automata, and they're 65 points each for 1. They're kind of like land speeders. But, oh no, they're not the jumpy ones. These are the fleet guys, that's right. 1 of them is movement 8, weapon skill, ballistic skill 4, strength 6, toughness 5, 3 wounds, initiative 4, 3 attacks, leadership 7, and a 3+ save. He's got a built-in two power blade arrays with built-in rotor cannons for his stabbers, lightning gun, and a deflector. He's Fleet 2, Hammer Wrath, and he's got Scout. And 5 more for 65 points each. For every 3 models, you can take a Rad Cleanser, and you can have Paragon of Metal too. So this is like your skirmisher guys, basically. Now these guys are the Vorax Stratos Automata Squadron. They're the flyers. They have Gin Sight, Anti-Grav Cybernetica, It Will Not Die 5+, Night Vision, and Surveillance protocols, so they can see through walls, reduce cover, see during night fight. And then Surveillance protocols is QRST. A model with a special rule, and the Cybernetica unit subtype may ignore the program behavior during the charge phase, so they don't have to charge. They have an Arc Blaster, 2 Havoc Launchers, an Automatic Deflector, and Stratos Thrusters for an invul save. 2 more are 125 points each, and you can take Paragon of Metal as well. So Havoc Launchers are pretty simple. They're the Strength 5 AP 5 blast that you can put on vehicles in the Legion. But the Arc Blaster is an Arc Blaster. Is going to be in the laser weapons? Nope, it's going to be in the some of these weapons, man. Conversion beamers? Nope. Auto weapons? Arc gear? There we go. Arc Blaster. 24-inch range, strength 6, AP 5, heavy 4, shred, disruption 4+. Nice. Heavy 4 on each guy. Heavy support. The Bigly Boy. Look at how cool he is. Oh my god. And his plasma-like mortar. He is such a cool model. I'd be tempted just to get him as like an ally. He's so cool. The Thanatar Siege Automata. He is a big guy. He's basically your Leviathan. So he's movement 8, weapon skill 3, bliss skill 4, strength toughness 8, 7 wounds, initiative 3, 3 attacks, leadership 7, and a 2+ save. There's 2 configurations, the Cavis and the Calyx. They both have Hammer Wrath and Thanatar Maniple. The Calyx has a Graviton Ram and a Solex Heavy Las. The Cavis has 2 shock chargers and a plasma mortar. And they both got twin link Molar bolt cannons and automatic deflectors. They are big, tough guys. And you can mix and match them. Cavis and the Maniple can be replaced with a Thanatar Calyx for 20 points. And they can buy the Paragon of Metal. So not a lot of like options for them, but I mean, what else do you need? Look at how big they are. And they're heavy, so you reroll that 2+ save against blasts. The Myrmidon Destructor host. A Myrmidon Destructor and Destructor Lords. They are pretty big. 145 points for 3, a pair of them and a Lord. Weapon skill 4, bliss skill 5, strength toughness 5 with 4 wounds, initiative 2, 2 attacks, leadership 8, and a 3+ save. They got shock chargers, Volkite culverins, refractor fields, frag and crack grenades. Bulky 3, relentless and stubborn, and they're all heavy. They can go on a conveyor though, 7 more for 40 points each, and any model can exchange their culverin for a conversion beamer, graviton imploder, darkfire cannon, or a radiation engine. Then you got your big tank, the Caracanos assault tank for 225, 14, 12, 12, 5 hull points, movement 12, so you can move 6 and still shoot. Shock ram, mounted Caracanos mortar battery. What does that thing look like? A mounted Caracanos mortar battery. Caracanos mortar battery. Where would that even be? There's different kinds of mortars. Oh my god. Not in there. Starts with a K. Some of these guns. Cracknose, Kraken Bolter. The Mori Quake Cannon's here. No, it's a mounted Caracanos mortar battery. It should be in here. Caracanos mortar battery. That's the Mori Quake Cannon, Rapid Fire Battle Cannon. I am not seeing it, and it's making me mad. I can't find it. Graviton stuff. Bellicosa's all laser stuff. Not in there. Not in there. Not in there. Is it in the other weapons? These are all melee weapons. Cutting tools. I don't see it anywhere. That's all melee weapons. Siege destroyers. Caracanos. No, I don't see it. Is it on the page with it? No. I don't know. 2 sponsor mounted lightning locks, flare shield, and search right. Caracanos pattern. Siege mortar. It's not under war gear, is it? Am I just losing my mind here? Nope. Oh, Ash. You've either lost it completely from doing book reviews, or it's just not in here. Archaeotech Pistol. It's not in the arc weapons. It's not. I thought it would be in the artillery cannon. It's not. Caracanos. Nope. Nope. It's not a conversion weapon. I can't find it. So mystery. Those are what it does. I don't know. I cannot find it in here. Volcano cannons are in there. Nemesis cannons, Las and Pulsar weapons. None of the, oh no, there it is. Finally, under the missile weapons. Okay, Caracanos mortar battery. 16-inch range, strength 6, AP 4. Heavy 1, massive blast 7. Barrage Fleshbane. Radphage, ignore cover, pinning, shell shock 3, and crawling fire. Holy crap, holy, what a bunch of special rules that thing has. It can take Hunter Killer missiles, that's it. And then the Creo Squadron, 13, 12, 12. You get 1 battle tank. The Venator of the battle tank. The Galvanic Traction Drive is your special rule. Now, what does that do? Galvanic Traction Drive. It sounds like something that was abandoned in the 70s. The kind of thing that was gonna change the automotive industry forever. Galvanic Traction Drive. Reroll failed dangerous terrain tests. That's exciting. And it won't die. Has a front-mounted lightning cannon. I mean, that's got to be under the arc weapons, right? Would make sense. Lightning cannon, strength 7, AP 3, heavy 1, large blast 5, rending 4+, shred and exoshocks. So it rerolls failed roast to wound, and it melts the insides of tanks. And then up to 2 additional Krios battle tanks for 125 points. It has a pulsar fusel if you upgrade the tank, and a pulsar fusel will be under lasers, 36-inch range, strength 9, AP 2, ordnance 4, pinning. Holy moly. Upgrade for Volkite calivers and Hunter Killer missiles. And then the Knight Myrmidax Talon. So this is a knight who's like a armature like size knight. So only heavy support for 200 points. They are a Myrmidax Knights. They have the Siege Claw with built-in Rad Cleanser, a Volkite Vuglair, an Ionic Deflector, and a Rad Furnace. And they are Fleet 2 Gruzo Protocol, Myrmidax Talon, move through cover, night vision. So Myrmidax Talon is they can move apart, but they have to start together. We're looking for Gruzo Protocol. I always wanted to be a Grudo Thief. Gruzo Protocol. Unit that includes 1 or more models of this can make this advanced reaction. This advanced reaction can be made whenever an enemy unit declares a charge targeting a friendly unit with the Automata unit type or Knight unit subtype within 12 of another friendly model that includes at least 1 unit with this protocol, special rule, that is not itself locked in combat. The unit with the Gruzo Protocol special rule may make a shooting attack targeting the unit that triggered the reaction and following all the rules. A unit that makes a shooting attack as part of a Gruzo Protocol reaction may not make any other weapons that go whatever. So all the usual provisos. So basically you can Overwatch for somebody within 12 of you as long as they're the correct unit type, so Automata or Knights. So you can take up to 3 additional Knights for 200 points each, and then they can change their Siege Claw. They can change their Volkite Vuglair and or Siege Claw with a built-in Rad Cleanser for any of the following. Siege Claw with built-in Rad Cleanser, Vuglair, so you can double up on either Lightning Lock, Conversion Beamer, or Graviton Pulsar. So this is the armatures with the special rules. All right, we're into Lords of War. It's gonna get crazy. It's all resin stuff for the most part until you get to a separate army list. So the Mechanicum can only really take the resin knights. So if you're looking to do the other knights, you have to go to the Questor houses, and that's a whole other section of this book. It's gonna be a whole other review for playing the Knight Army in this game. But I'll hold off on that. Tonight, Mike Guerra is the one with the grabby hand. He's got a Reaper Chainsword, Lightning Cannon, mounted Phase, Plasma Fusel, Flare Shield, Ion Shield. He's a Knight. It will not die 6+, Night Vision, and Overtaxed Reactor. Can take an arm-mounted Siege Claw with built-in Rad Cleanser for 25 points for its Reaper Chainsword. So as long as you got a Lightning Cannon model, I guess you could make this out of the plastics if you wanted to. He's Movement 10, Weapon Skill Blitz Skill 4, Strength 8, 13, 12, 12, Initiative 2, 3 attacks, and a hull points of 7. The Knight Styrax can take a Reaper Chainsword and an arm-mounted Volkite Kiovariel. Hull-mounted Graviton Gun. It will not die 6+, same core stats, Vehicle Knight, and then you can take the Rad Cleanser Claw as well. These are 400 and 410 points. So You can kind of, you can't really make these other plastic knights. You kind of can if you want to kit bash. Their guns are pretty cool though. The lightning cannon is under the arc weapons again. It is strength 7, AP 3, heavy 1, large blast 5+, running 4+, shred, exoshock 4+. And then overtaxed reactor. What does that do? Because it's just, he's using all the guns. Overtaxed reactor. When destroyed, a model with the special rule resolves catastrophic damage at AP 3. So all the hits you do when you blow up is out of their AP 3. And the Styrax is Volkite Kiroviel. It's probably a big Volkite weapon. Volkite Kiroviel. 48 5-inch range, strength 8, AP 4, heavy 5, depth of grade. Just a giant Volkite gun. The Knight Atropos is 500 points. Holy moly, he's the big guy. He is movement 14, strength 9, weapon skill 4, 13, 12, 12, initiative 4, 4 attacks, and leadership 8 hull points. He's got an Atropos Phase Cutter, a Singularity Cannon. So the Phase Cutter, I imagine, is horrifying. Atropos Phase Cutter. Eric Power Claw, Power Weapons, Servo Weapons, Atropos Phase Cutter. Where you at? There it is. Strength 10, AP 1, melee, cumbersome, armored bane, instant death. Just kills whatever it touches. And then the Singularity Cannon. I like just the name of the Singularity Cannon. That sounds like it's no joke. A arm-mounted Singularity Cannon. So it's a graviton weapon, 36-inch range, strength 8, AP 2, heavy 1, large blast 5, haywire concussive 1, graviton Singularity. And then the Knight Acastus and Asterius. So Knight Acastus Asterius, 625 points. Strength 10, 14, 13, 12, 9 hull points, initiative 3, 3 attacks. It's got a two arm-mounted twin-linked heavy conversion beam cannons, a hull front-mounted Caracanos mortar battery, which you already saw, and then Volkite culverins. Catastrophic explosion, it will not die 6+ night vision. Oh, and the Knight Atropos still has the macro extinction targeting protocols. What do those do? Macro extinction targeting protocols. Starts with an M, so it's going to be somewhere, right? That's all. Energy weapons, special rules, macro extinction protocols. That's all. Cyberthergy, LMNOP. When making a shooting attack against targets of the super heavy vehicle, Knight, Titan, unit type, model with the special accounts, all of its weapons is twin linked. Everything's twin linked when you fight the big guys. All right, this is it. The Ordinatus, the biggest of big tanks, 1,075 points for the Ulider. Oh my God, 14 hull points, 14, 13, 13, movement 10, we'll skill 4. It's got a front-mounted Sonic Destructor, a rear-mounted Volkite Culverin, 2 sponsor-mounted Culverins, and an Ordinatus Dispersion Field. It will not die 6+, Reactor Meltdown Major, and Reinforced Structure. And it's heavy. So Reactor Meltdown, what is that? That doesn't sound good. Reactor Overload, this is Reactor Meltdown. When a model of this takes catastrophic damage, when the model with the special rule is destroyed, the damage caused by its catastrophic damage is altered depending on the value of X. So is it Maxima? It's Major. When destroyed, everything's AP 2. And they're all destroyer attacks. It just kills everything nearby. And then it's got reinforced structures, so it's got a 5+ invul against shooting attacks. And then the Sonic Destructor. Sonic Destructor. Sonic weapons are in here somewhere. It's basically a giant brown sound machine. Sonic Destructor. 72-inch range, strength 6, AP 2, destroyer 1, large blast 5, sonic wave, pinning, armbane range, murderous strike 5+, ignores cover. So it might cause instant death. It's destroyer. It ignores cover. It just melts everything nearby. And then the Ordinatus Cactus, it's got a Terabrax rocket battery and a seismic excavator macro drill with 2 access points. This actually carries guys, carries 42 guys. It's only 800 points though. Also, but it drills up from the ground, that's right. It has Terrestrial Disregard. That's a great name for something. Terrestrial Disregard should be what everybody who litters in the highway has. QRS. Terrestrial Disregard. Instead of using the normal subterranean assault rules, place an apocalyptic blast marker 10 anywhere in the battlefield, at least one from an enemy model, and then scatter them. If the marker's final position is within one of any model, any battlefield edge, or in a piece of impassable terrain, then the controlling player can place it anywhere within 18. If there's no suitable position, the model may be repositioned anywhere in the controlling player's opponent, anywhere in the battlefield. Once the final position is determined, the controlling player may place the model in the battlefield, so long as the center of the marker is underneath any part of the model's hull. After it's been placed, each fortification within 6 of it immediately suffers D6 Strength 10 AP2 hits, and nearby enemy units suffer Strength 10 AP2 hits for each model within 6 of the model. Any that suffers one or more hits must make an immediate pinning tech. The area under the Apocalyptic Blast 10 is treated as difficult terrain and dangerous terrain for the remainder of the battle, because it dug its way out of the ground. That's hilarious. Alright. Appendices. The Persona Schismata. It would not be until after Horus raised the banner of rebellion and plunged the Imperium into Magus that the true nature of these magi would be known. So these are all your special characters. Dien, dien, dien. So Archmazos Drakavac, 240 points. Warlord of Cyclothrace, Sovereign Prelate of House Atrax, and the Bringer of Perfection. Falls to Slanesh. He's on an abeyant or on foot, depending on what you want. You pay extra points to put him on an abeyant for 25. He is weapon skill, blitz skill 5, strength 5 up to 6 or 7, 4 or 6 wounds, initiative 4, 2 attacks, leadership 10, 2+ save. He's got a Paragon Blade, Graviton Gun, Protectiva, Cortex Controller, Jinskein, and a Machinator Array. And he's infantry character unique. Battlesmith 3+, Feudal Hierarchy, Firing Protocols 2. He's got Stratarga, and he's an Incursus Cyberthergist. Which means has the Artificia Machina and Ephemera Incursus Cyberthergic Arcana and all the rights and weapons. He's got Stratarga as his Archmagos Drakavac may be chosen as an HQ choice for Traitor Legion's Mechanicum attachment, and may also be taken as a troop choice in any army using the Divisio Tactica Questoris household. So you can take him as a troop choice in armies of knights, as long as you're a traitor. As part of the Questoris Knight attachment, Archmagos Trivik is allowed Calyx Battle Automatic Maniple and Vorax Battle Automatic Maniple to be taken as non-compulsory troop choices. So basically, he brings a bunch of Battle Automatica with him. And when he's on a ban or not, he gets different things. His special warlord trait is Cruel Taskmaster. If any friendly unit with at least one model within 12 of the warlord with this trait fails a morale check or pinning check, the controlling player may choose to remove a single model from that unit as a casualty without any armor saves or damage mitigation rolls being made, instead of having the unit automatically pass a morale check or pinning test without rerolling any dice. In addition, any army whose warlord has this trait can do initial reaction in the shooting phase. And then he has the Liquefractor. He can put a weapon that will reduce nearly any target to a liquid slurry with a hideous mix of corrosive enzymes and radioactive waste materials. Archmagos Dravak may exchange all his attacks in an assault phase for a special Liquefactor attack. This attack hits automatically and may be used against a single model in base contact with Dravak, initiative step 1. To resolve the attack, your player rolls 2d6. If the toughness characteristic, then they suffer a number of wounds equal to the roll minus the toughness with an AP of 2. If the target is an armor value, reduce the rolled value by half the armor value struck, and the result is the number of penetrating hits the vehicle suffers. In addition, if the player ever rolls a 9 against a Caracanos assault tank with a front armor of 14, oh, sorry, he's just showing you the thing. You do two penetrating hits. And then the Jinskein, he increases blitz skill of any unit he joins by +1. In addition, when Archmagos Dravak is present in the battlefield, not embarked in a building or transport, and not locked in combat, you can reroll any scatter rolls that are made, as long as he has line of sight to the target or point of destination. So basically, he can like call in coordinates. So there's your traitor character, and then you get Archmagos Anachronous Scoria as an HQ, 365 points. The Xenophane Tyrant, the Fallen Master, the Lord of the 9 Cohorts, and the Apostate Magister. Movement 9, weapon skill, blitz skill 5, strength 5 up to 7, 7 wounds, initiative 5. He is always on a machine, it looks like. Monsters heavy, unique, and Cyberthergist. He's just a big boy. 2+ save. The Voidian Scepter. +2 strength AP2, melee 2-handed armorbane, melee, Exoshock 4+, and murder strike 5+. It's a big stabber. A 2 architect pistols, photon thruster, machina protectiva, cortex controller, cyber familiar, and a machinator array. And he has Rights of the Beast. He has the Artificia Machina, Artificius Cybernetica, and Ephemera Incursus Cyberthergic Arcana, and has all the rights and weapons associated with it. And then his warlord trait is Forbidden Protocols. Any friendly unit made up entirely of models with the Automata unit type, with at least one model within 6 of this warlord, may make reactions, ignoring the usual restriction for Automata. In addition, you get an additional movement phase reaction. And then he's got Adamantium Will 5+, Battlesmith 3+, Fear 2, Eternal Warrior, Feudal Hierarchy, Firing Protocols 3, Will Not Die 5+, Move Through Cover, Patros Cybernetica, Pride of the Place, Rite of the Beast, and Traitor. So he's a big traitor. All right, and so we're into the next section, which is Divisio Tactica. So this is the whole section on playing a Warlord Titan, basically, or other Titans as your army, followed by the Questoris section, which will be all about doing the Knight household as your army. So that's our first look at the actual Mechanicum stuff. So not a huge army list, lots of options within options, though. Obviously, units you can make bigger and smaller, and these guys show up all the time. I'm just gonna look at the color section. Oh my god, look at how cool that Thanatar is, as allies. So I'm really hopeful we see this stuff in the future as plastic kits. It's not a huge army, so you could probably get away with it. And I feel like as we go forward with the Horus Heresy, as they complete all the plastics for the Legion's armies, we will eventually see these guys come around to plastic. But for now, if you're looking at either kit bashing them, using them as allies, like the Tech Thralls, come on, man, you can make those out of something. And obviously all the Tech Priests and stuff too. Where are they? The Castellax. These guys could easily be made out of the Castellans. I love the Vorax, that don't matter with their chain guns. But you have options to, of course, take these with the Legion Praevian. So we have our rules now, which is awesome. And of course, if you have plastic knights, the Questoris household list is in here and available to you. Interestingly, well, we'll talk about that in a minute, but interestingly, not all the plastic knight stuff made it into the book, but does give the option of playing knights in Horus Heresy. So there it is, a look at Liber Mechanicum, the first of these sort of like full force update books for Warhammer the Horus Heresy. I hope you enjoyed that. Check out the Titans and Knight Household reviews also today. Till then, I'm Ash. Have a good night. Hey there, I hope you enjoyed that video. There are tons of other games already recorded for you to watch. Click over to my channel page if you haven't already, and have a look to the dozens of playlists full of videos. I guarantee you'll discover a game you haven't seen played before. I put out new videos 7 days a week, and every day is themed to a different genre as I continue to explore the wider world of gaming. Of course, none of that's possible without you, the viewer, so click a like and subscribe if you'd like to stay on top of what's happening here daily. My 2 kids and I are massively grateful to be able to have the flexibility of this job so I can always maximize my time with them. If you want to support me continuing to put out this content, it's only possible because of my amazing backers on Patreon who support the studio, equipment, and model cost, as well as being how I make the bulk of my living. You can also help out by buying a t-shirt through Spreadshirt, a measuring gauge or widget from Death Ray Designs, or buying one of my games and supplements like Last Days, Gamma Wolves, and Blaster. As a way of showing my appreciation, patrons get early access to new games and supplements that I write throughout the course of the year. Huge thanks for watching, it really does help out, and happy gaming.